No one starts at the top. Just like you, Mike Thurston's success started in the micro-influencer trenches, creating niche content, training a handful of in-person clients, and building his reputation one post at a time. Here's how he scaled his brand into a global powerhouse, and you can too. To build a brand as successful as Mike Thurston's, understanding your ideal customer profile is key. Every single aspect of your brand stems from your ideal customer profile, from your research to your content strategy to the final call to action. It is the foundation of your personal brand that makes you more money the more clear your customer profile is. It gives you clarity and direction. For Mike Thurston, this clarity has allowed him to scale with intent, meaning that every move he makes, whether it's launching his app, clothesline, or a course, it fits cohesively into his entire strategy, where each offer complements the other, serving as a stepping stone that aligns with his audience's evolving aspirations, from fitness to lifestyle and then self-improvement. And then he creates offers that resonate, because by knowing his audience, he tailors his products that meet their specific needs, from physical transformations to financial and lifestyle choices, and reinforcing their trust and loyalty to his brand, aligning with their values. And this alignment is what keeps his audience engaged and willing to invest in his brand. So if you have 5k, 10k followers and you want to begin scaling your social media personal brand by monetizing it, it is imperative for you to understand this. Understanding your ideal customer profile gives you a roadmap for scaling with purpose. It helps you to choose the right platforms and content strategies to nurture your audience effectively and turn attention into money, which is the goal at the end of the day. But Mike started in the trenches just like you. The evolution of his brand all started from a pivotal turning point, which is his YouTube. By leveraging the platform, he expanded the reach of his fitness expertise far beyond the confines of one-on-one sessions, where his content, packed with actionable fitness advice and relatable insights, began to resonate with a much broader audience. And this shift not only increased his visibility, but established him as an authority within the fitness niche early on the internet, building that trust and credibility that became the cornerstone of his growing brand, which has over time built up to what it is today. It all started with that single piece of content, because in the early days of social media, monetization wasn't as accessible or lucrative as it is today, and Mike had to focus on cultivating this loyal audience before he had to turn his influence into income. And this approach, even though it can be time intensive, but nowadays with shorts, reels, you can expand your brand in rapid timings. It lays the foundation for your long-term success. And this entire strategy focuses on one thing: building a loyal audience before monetization. By consistently delivering high value, actual content that addressed his audience's fitness challenges and goals, whether it was workout routines, nutritional advice, lifestyle insights. His content wasn't just about sharing the knowledge, it was about solving the problems. By showing genuine care and expertise, he built that trust and loyalty among his followers. And as a result, Mike understood that this trust is the currency of influence, and his authentic approach to his videos and his brand, coupled with a consistent online presence over the years, has made his audience feel like they know him personally. And that is essential when transitioning from free content to paid offers, because at the beginning, little did Mike know that his content is the first step to monetization. It all started as a hobby and you just raise awareness. And this high quality, consistent content, it is the bedrock of a monetizable personal brand, which is instrumental in transitioning from a nobody to a somebody in the internet, no matter what your platform is, because they've all got their strengths and weaknesses. And what you need to do is pick the platform that plays to your strengths and where your audience basically lives. And so the first step is to build trust before scaling. The days where you need millions of followers to monetize are long gone. It's about knowing your customer and having that intent and direction that align with their values and goals, prioritizing this audience connection and trust building over quick monetization attempts, and therefore combining attention and trust equals dollars. And then you have to leverage content as a strategic foundation. It's about creating a system that attracts, nurtures, and converts your followers into loyal customers. It's about creating an ecosystem that builds credibility through specialized knowledge and experience that is documented, providing ongoing value, relatability, and positions you over time as the authority in your niche. And this foundation of trust is essential before any monetization can occur. But you might be thinking, oh, my niche is not good for printing money. And trust me, it is just about your positioning. It doesn't matter what niche you have, you can earn tens of thousands of dollars a month in the most niche corners of the internet, because the digital landscape is all about the perception game. Get your positioning right and you can start printing cash, because content becomes the vehicle for turning that perception into reality. And so let's have a look how Mike does this. Let's look at his social media funnel. And so we first look at his Instagram. And Mike's Instagram is his digital business card. This is essentially his main awareness hub. So what can you expect? It's his entire proof of his system and lifestyle, of his success, where he sells his offers and his aspirational lifestyle. And this is why he has the following he does, and why he has chosen Instagram as his business card, because Instagram is all about the aesthetics and the looks. And Mike is simply playing to his strengths. The way he portrays himself is for many the lifestyle most dream of, and Instagram is the perfect platform to put this out for people. And because of this aspirational content marketing, his top of the funnel has a wide reach, from fitness to self-improvement to basically all niches that are about making money. And so you have his content and his reels that share similar strategies. It's all about putting in that sprinkle of personality, but most importantly, as you can see, it's about demonstrating and funneling his audience to his wide array of offers and nurturing mechanisms his brand has, from his coaching app to his clothing brand to his affiliate sponsorships to his podcast and YouTube. It's the hub that opens the eyes of these wider audiences to all his offers and long-form content, where he can nurture them and convert them. But the best thing about all this is that his offers align with his ideal customer profile. So every single product or nurturing mechanism is a simple nudge away from converting, because none of them are in different niches. It's all interconnected, and we'll get into this a bit later. But what you need to understand is that you have to choose a platform where you know how to capture attention and you know where your audience resides, because you cannot be fishing in a pond with no fish. And as you can see from his business card, which is his Instagram, you are directed to a Komi. And this Komi is basically a simplified landing hub for everything that his brand is. And why has he chosen this approach? Because it minimizes friction and makes it effortless for followers to explore everything he offers, from buying his clothing line to sign up for his training app or listening to his podcast. And this strategy is crucial because as you scale your personal brand with multiple platforms and offers, having this centralized hub ensures that your audience doesn't get lost navigating between your products and platforms, and it keeps your ecosystem interconnected, making it seamless for your followers to take action, whether it's consuming your content, purchasing your products, or subscribing to your services. And so, in essence, you're simplifying this user journey, because as you expand your brand, a hub not only streamlines engagement, but also reinforces your authority by presenting a cohesive and professional system. You can see he leverages multiple platforms, and whilst he simplifies the user journey, he also simplifies his own job. You see, all his content is an example of the content flywheel, especially on the cold audience awareness levels. And what this content flywheel is a system where one piece of content fuels the next, and Mike creates one piece of content like a YouTube video and repurposes it across all his platforms such as Instagram Reels, TikToks, podcast clips, etc. Because it's all about having a system that covers your audience from top to bottom, doing more with less. And your content flywheel is crucial for your brand's funnel and how it scales. So let's first have a look at the top of his funnel, where he raises awareness towards his offers. So we've covered Instagram. Now let's look at his Facebook. He uses Facebook basically to use it as a short form to educate and focus the attention on his training and everything related to training, used to funnel his audience to his training app by directing focus on short and actionable advice that can be applied to your next training session or in the next time you're in the kitchen cooking. And you might be thinking, Facebook, why Facebook? Some people may argue that Facebook is so outdated. What is the point? This is where your ideal customer profile comes in, because many people don't realise that Facebook is still one of the most popular platforms. It has over 3 billion monthly users. And whilst Gen Zs and millennials have moved on to TikTok and Instagram, many personal brands have also done this and moved away from Facebook. But let's say, for example, you're in a fitness niche and you're a fitness personal brand. This fitness content gets eaten up on Facebook. But more importantly, it is these individuals, these boomers, that have money to buy your services that use Facebook. As they're getting older, the knees are getting squeaky, and Mike positions himself and his app as a solution to this wider and more mature audience because they can afford it, and it's a goldmine for fitness personal brands, let's say. So don't just follow trends, because trends are very fleeting. What's trending today is not trending tomorrow. Know your customer profile and know what you are offering, who you want to offer it to exactly. When you don't look at trends, you look at it from an audience demographic and purchasing power standpoint. It gives you a different scaling angle. And whilst younger generations dominate newer platforms, older demographics on platforms like Facebook often have this disposable income and motivation to invest in premium services. And And that is how Mike positions his training app to become an authority on Facebook, tailoring his content to their specific needs, which unlocks lucrative and often overlooked markets. And then we have TikTok. The strategy is clear. It is his top of the funnel magnet for his training app also. And Mike leverages his physique as a visual hook, a pattern disruptor, you'd say, ensuring his content grabs attention quickly, which is crucial for a fast-paced platform like TikTok. And from this pattern disruption, as you can see, it's all part of this content flywheel. By repurposing Instagram Reels for TikTok, Mike demonstrates how to maintain consistency across multiple platforms without doubling his workload. And this approach ensures that his brand and his messaging is cohesive, and whilst efficiently expanding reach and providing bite-sized educational content, blending in actionable advice with entertaining visuals, ensuring that the audience is both engaged and informed, driving them closer to this training app and highlighting their pain points and making it easy to enter. But as you can see on the top of his funnel, Mike has separate accounts for his Instagrams. So he has his main Instagram, which is his business card, and then he has a podcast Instagram and his training Instagram. And why is this? Because one, for his training Instagram that focuses on training and funneling his audience to his app, it maintains authority in the fitness niche through educational content. And then he has his podcast account dedicated to promoting and expanding his podcast, further deepening his connection with that audience. By having these separate accounts, he's honing in on the different needs and pain points of the two audiences, where he can gather feedback easily about his training app and about his podcast, and apply it without overloading his main business card, where he can focus on the aspirational lifestyle to raise overall awareness of his brand. And then you have his nurturing mechanisms, his long-form content. It's where the personal brand and the proof of his systems comes to life, where you can see Mike in action, where Mike's personal brand transforms from an aspirational image into a tangible and relatable persona. And it's about making that audience think and feel the brand. His YouTube, a fundamental backbone of his entire brand. And Mike's YouTube channel has two directions. His channel originally started as a fitness channel. He hasn't got here by accident, making content from 2014 consistently. These videos are definition of YouTube real estate, evergreen content, because it's filled with excellent training advice. You can go back to them 20 years later and they'll be highly applicable, and as they are easy to digest, filled with applicable information and broken down, basically dumbified for any beginner to watch and understand, means one thing: always bringing more views, because fitness is always trending, which means more entries into his app and more authority in the niche. And then, as you can see from his training, he has diversified his content into sharing his lifestyle and travel. And this is what has scaled Mike's brand to what it is today. It's about the aspirational lifestyle and connecting with his audience by letting them into that snippet of his life and that extra. It includes Q&As and travel vlogs, for example, essentially having people live vicariously through Mike, creating that demand to reach this lifestyle, which is eventually funneled to his products like the digital playbook or his clothing brand. And then from these YouTube videos, when the time is right, whether it's fitness, lifestyle, personal development, Mike strategically uses his content to guide followers through different touch points, introducing them to his training app, clothing line, podcast and other services, where all his platforms link seamlessly. And by doing so, he maximizes his reach on each platform, ensuring that every piece of content not only builds trust, but directs his audience to his offers, seamlessly integrating them into the entire brand ecosystem. And then you have his podcast. And with the podcast, it's a very clever strategy that has an important lesson for any personal brand that wants to scale at a faster rate, because this has allowed Mike to basically scale to a multi-million-dollar personal brand. Because over the past 15 years, you need to understand that self-improvement has 100x'd as an industry. And yes, maybe Mike got lucky, but it doesn't change the fact that he was smart enough to dive into this industry's growth and leverage it to expand his influence and his personal brand. Because if you had to put his ideal customer profile into one overarching category, it would be self-improvement, because fitness is one of the main pillars of the industry, if not the pillar. And this is essential to understand if you want to scale your brand, because from the fitness niche to the wider self-improvement niche is a natural progression, in a sense. And this opens up the door to his money printing machine, where he has placed himself with his podcast, bridging the gap between fitness and the broader self-improvement topics, while still grounding his brand in his core expertise, which immediately positions him as an authority for this new cold audience that tune into his podcast. So the key lesson here would be to anchor your brand and expertise in a niche with universal appeal, which naturally opens doors to related and broader areas, because you can start by going all in on your one specific specific niche and expertise to build authority and trust. But as you grow, identify the overarching niche that encompasses your expertise and strategically expand into it, allowing you to scale while staying aligned with your audience's evolving desires and aspirations. So start small with your expertise, but begin to think big and leverage this larger ecosystem by recognizing how your niche fits into a broader industry, for example, to entice strategic expansion, introducing content and offers that appeal to this larger audience whilst maintaining your core identity. And this is why content is vital for your funnel's engagement, nurturing, and conversions. Whatever your brand is about, creating content essentially acts as this lead magnet by making it accessible and valuable to your audience. It makes scaling your brand become 10 times easier down the line, because as a result, this strategy builds a long-term digital asset that transcends these intangible niche borders, continuously driving traffic, engagement, and conversions to your brand. And this is where we go into his offers. The way Mike has structured his brand, his content, and his offers is that they all funnel to each other in a seamless way. They all complement each other. In Mike's instance, the evergreen fitness and lifestyle content on YouTube is consumed, and then the audience is educated and entertained. They use his advice and this aspirational energy to get into fitness. And from this educational and aspirational content, it leads to his training app, helping followers feel and look better, and then to his clothing brand, and then to his digital playbook. Everything is interconnected, and he then takes it further by affiliating with optimization tools like Bionic and Whoop, enhancing the entire experience for his audience. And this is a clever tactic by Mike, where he understands this ideal customer profile because he keeps them engaged with his offers, and he helps to increase the likelihood of arrival to their desired position by offering this affiliate programs that align with not only Mike's values but the audience's values, helping them to become more healthy. So what offers does Mike have? He has his first training app, he has his digital playbook, his first clothing brand, and the affiliate partnerships with Whoop and Bionic. For example, the evergreen fitness content on YouTube is consumed, the audience is educated and entertained, and they use his advice to get into fitness from his nurturing content. And because people want a shortened time frame to their desired goal, that illusion to an expert, the training app is an inevitable next step and part of that audience funnel and cycle. It's easily accessible and cheap to enter, creating that easy entry point with no heavy obligations on the customer part, which makes it perfect for any cold audiences that tune into his content on YouTube. It makes sense because on Mike's side, the journey from in-person personal training to online personal training to launching a training app highlights his strategic and natural progression that many fitness personal brands aspire to be. Because like I said, it's about creating that illusion to an expert whilst scaling beyond time limits, where digital products like the app allow Mike to scale his offers from working with 10 to 15 clients per month to reaching thousands of people globally, maximizing the impact with the same effort whilst delivering value at a scale while maintaining their personal connection through content on his app. So for example, let's look at his workflow for his app. When someone joins, they see his offer, 40% off, and it's already cheap, so it's an easy entry point for a beginner because there is no heavy investment that is needed on their behalf. And from there, they sign up and are added to a CRM where they would probably be tagged to help any future segmentation efforts in their retargeting ads, for example, if someone leaves the app, let's say. And then a simple email sequence that is all about warming up the user by clarifying what they will do to help you to meet your goals, no matter where they are, highlighting key features that will help you to get from A to B as quick as possible. Because remember that people want a short time frame, they're impatient. You want people to stay, so they need to paint this picture of how they can get closer to the goal as soon as they join. And then you want to provide another email, for example, with relatable social proof that shows the user examples of how people just like them have transformed using the app, because it's about providing that quick emotional win where a single nudge to a call to action is all that's needed to them to get started. And then a simple onboarding framework would be to have a form that can be later used to segment users based on their abilities, so then email marketing efforts know who and where to nudge in a specific direction when it comes to upselling, cross-selling and retention efforts. And then you have this community engagement where it consistently drives traffic to his app through all his socials, enticing them with challenges and incentives like discounts and prizes. And from there, you have the retention where all the segmentation really comes into play. And this is important because fitness is not easy, and by segmenting you can personalize your retention approaches so that the emails increase your retention rates. So for example, tailoring your messaging to their level of expertise. For example, an advanced user might receive an email saying, ready to push your limits, Here's a new challenge to elevate your routine. Meanwhile, a beginner could get a message like, congratulations on starting your fitness journey. Here are some tips to make your first week a success. And then you simply move to a feedback loop where it helps you identify the pain points, adapt to user needs, and build a stronger and more responsive product as a whole. And then you have his digital playbook, which is his higher ticket offer, with his unique selling point being the ability to help your personal brand gain location and financial freedom. And this is the structure of the page. And using that principle we spoke about with the podcast, specialized knowledge with experience, he uses his own story and brand as the social proof for his system's effectiveness, which he sells using this VSL, video sales letter, which in essence introduces himself, where he explains the pain point of his struggles in early career, a journey from A to B, and the solution, the desire, the need to build that online presence to expand his personal training service. And then he builds relatability, where he mentions how he's always been asked about the way he's made it to today, creating that demand. And then from there, he identifies the audience's pain point and intensifies them. For example, he mentioned about the lack of freedom, where he bridges this gap with his digital playbook to solidify his brand, where you can gain freedom and finally make money in your sleep, which are the benefits. But as you can see, I would suggest an improvement to his sales funnel could be that the fact there is no social proof, nowhere to be found. Even on his social medias, there's no mention of any digital playbook social proof, which could be a big red flag to a potential customer. And also, you could possibly add another discovery call straight after the VSL, and giving someone that instant opportunity to take action, because in the VSL you are magnifying the importance of acting now on the pain point. And putting this discovery session right at the bottom is not it, because it's something like 10% of people who scroll down past the first 25% of the landing page. So this could easily fix a leaky hole in the funnel where your leads start to drop off. But more importantly, what can you learn from these two monetization and scaling strategies? Well, essentially, you need to identify your core expertise and leverage this free content. Start by identifying one key offer that aligns with your expertise and audience's needs. And it doesn't have to be complex. It should be something that showcases your knowledge and provides real value to your audience. And then you have to package it into content that places you at the forefront of the audience's mind. And before monetizing, you need to establish this strong presence, focus on creating this consistent, high quality content. And then you can create systems that can scale this. Here, you can start by determining what aspects of your brand or service can be digitalized or automated to reach more people. And the key here is to shift from a time-bound service like one-on-one coaching to a product or a system that can serve a large audience simultaneously, but only after building authority and gaining momentum with your social proof, which is your content. So this means that you would need to find scalable offers that allow you to reach more people without increasing your workload, whether it's a course, digital product, or whatever. The goal is to create something that leverages your expertise and can grow your reach, revenue, and impact exponentially while still focusing on that core identity. And then you have his sponsors and affiliates, because when you begin to grow, you will be met with many sponsors and affiliates. Quick cash grabs here and there, and whilst helping you financially in the moment, when you begin to scale, there is one key tactic that will enhance your entire funnel from top to bottom. At size, the real power lies in strategic brand partnerships that creates this synergy between your messaging and the sponsor's offers. And this is what Mike does, because Whoop and Bionic aren't just transactional. They're an extension of his personal commitment to health, fitness, and high-performance living. And his audience knows he's not just selling a product, he's offering solutions that he's personally invested in by increasing the likelihood of arriving to their desired situation, but also decreasing the time frame that it will take to get from A to B by using these sponsors. And as a result, this strong partnership can evolve into long-term revenue streams that generate ongoing value rather than just one-time payments. And so for you, it's about choosing sponsors that you believe in while integrating them into your brand story, showing your audience why and how they are relevant to their own aspirations. But more importantly, if you want to take that next step, you need to opt in for a strategic partnership that not only provides income, but helps you elevate your brand, amplify your reach to look like audiences that will fall into ideal customer profile and that are interested in your offers without extra efforts on your behalf. And then, last but not least, we have his clothing brand. And as well as his training, Mike uses aspirational lifestyle as his main attention disruptor alongside his physique. Mike's brand is built on this aspirational content where his audience looks up to his lifestyle, physique, and success. And because he has already connected with the fitness side of his content through years of personal training and now his extremely successful training app positioning him as an authority in fitness. How do you connect with the other side of his content, the lifestyle and the travel? By offering a clothing line. Mike connects his followers from that side of content with his personal brand in a tangible way, where they can physically represent the lifestyle he promotes, which further embeds this image into their daily life. And so you have to use your products and services as marketing tools, especially with the use of Reels, TikToks. It's easier than ever to expand your brand, having your product act as a double. Consider how your offers can generate organic traffic from word of mouth and act as an extension of your brand's visibility. How can you make people think and feel your brand with your new product, whether that's tangible or intangible in their mind? But also you have to think beyond the product. It's about creating a lifestyle. It's about creating a habit. It's about scaling your brand and thinking beyond the product itself. How can your offer align with the lifestyle of your audience? How can your product seamlessly integrate into the habits of your ideal customer profile so your brand becomes an indispensable part of their daily life? But you have to remember, your personal brand funnel begins with you. At the beginning, it is all about you. Don't rush to launch products without first establishing your personal brand. Build trust, authority, and engagement with your audience before introducing new offers, because it's only when your audience already values you as a person when they are more likely to support your new ventures. And so, with all these lessons, we come to an end. You can only learn from the people who have already walked the path. To carve our own path much easier and quicker. So take these lessons and start today, because there is no time to waste. And if you're interested in learning how to optimize your sales funnels and your personal brand, check out the rest of my channel for other funnel optimization videos. And please like, share, subscribe and comment and all that good stuff. But most importantly, thank you very much for watching, and I hope you have a great day.